Well, Miss Legs, how are you?
I am fantastic, Glenn Marshall Adams.
How have you been?
I'm good, honey bun. I'm really good. Very excited.
Good. Looking forward to Halloween.
Yes, I am. I'm not really much of a Halloween person, but I do love an old festive season, you know.
Oh, why?
Yeah, you know why, don't you? Like,
I do.
Yeah,
It's you're one step.
We're not going there. I don't want you throwing a big hurry wobbly.
You're one step closer to your
my favourite season.
That season that we'll not name. Not yet, anyway.
Right. Okay.
So listen. This episode is the live episode that we recorded. So we're just on to do a very quick intro.
Yep.
Before we pass you over to the live episode with our very special co-host for the night, Jude Copeland. Mm-hmm. So do you want to maybe tell us what the episode's about?
We are so excited to announce that this live episode you're about to hear is all about the history of Belfast drag at its finest, with myself, Miss Tina Lake's Tantrum, and the Baroness, the one and only Miss Titti von Tramp. And we're going to discuss and we're going to delve into the last 30 years of drag, the ups, the downs, the backwards, the forwards, our struggles, but also the positives, and what we have both achieved in never giving up and believing in ourselves. Even back in the day, way before RuPaul's Drag Race, way before the internet, way before YouTube and all of that malarkey, when you had to hide your drag in a bag and go through the town with your life in your hands. And it's a really interesting listen. So, to all you Sips and Giggles listeners out there, thank you so much for enjoying. I want you to enjoy this episode with all our hearts, because it truly does mean a lot. And I also want to say a special thank you to the LGBTQIA Heritage Project for collaborating with us. And yeah, have a listen. Sit back, have a sip, have a giggle. Chin chin.
So a very warm welcome here to 2 Royal Avenue on this Wednesday night for G&T Sips and Giggles Live. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome to this stage Laura Lavery.
Hiya. You're all very welcome. So for those of you who who don't know me, my name is Laura Lavery and I co-chair the Working with Pride Network with Annette Whelan. So we've worked together with the LGBTQIA Heritage Project to put on this evening. So I'm just up to do a big welcome, a couple of bits and pieces of housekeeping, and then of course all of our thank yous before handing over to the people that you're actually here to see. So right up front in terms of housekeeping, if we need an emergency exit, we hope not to, one at the front, one at the back. If you just need a bathroom, down here and on the left-hand side and just outside, there's a wee kind of outside situation that is enclosed. And then if you do need to go sort of before the end of it, before everyone's going, if you just head out through the front door, that'd be grand. Which just leaves me to thank our sponsors for this evening, SSE Electricity, Invest NI and Baker McKenzie. Without our sponsors for these events, and I know there's many people in the room who've previously sponsored our events, they just don't happen, or our costs get eaten up and we're not allowed, or not able rather, to donate the 100% of ticket sales to the Rainbow Project as we have done now. Any of you who've been to our previous events will know that this is part of a series that we've been doing to try and raise money for the new LGBTQIA hub, which is hopefully up here. So over the next sort of year or two, you'll see a lot of transformation in this space. Also want to thank Emer and Ruby from 2 Royal Avenue, who have been hugely helpful in getting this together and putting it on. And of course, our host with the most, Jude Copeland, who is not one bit nervous about asking the questions. And then to Glenn and our 2 fabulous queens, Titti and Tina, who I'm sure you're just busting to see. So I will get out of your way now, and I'm just going to welcome to the stage Mickey Murray, who is going to do another wee welcome.
Oh, I'm actually not using my speech that I wrote. Sorry. I had a speech that I wrote about 3 weeks ago, and then I was reading it and I was like, that's really formal. So I must have been having just a really formal day. So I just decided just to park it. Yeah, you're all very welcome here today. As the city's very first openly gay Lord Mayor, it's great. it's great to have so many LGBT events happening throughout my year, and using our city centre space. This building is owned by Belfast City Council, and it's great to be utilising this space for the benefit of our community. This week we're celebrating National Coming Out Day. And this event is coinciding with National Coming Out Day this week. So it is great that we're all here. I just want to thank all the sponsors that have made this happen. Today is first and foremost a fundraiser. We're in this beautiful building, 2 Royal Avenue, which everyone will remember as a very vibrant Tesco. But it will soon be the home of our LGBTQ plus community as we open up upstairs as part of our LGBTQ plus IA hub. We've secured 1.4 million for phase 1 of the project. That's not going to be enough to deliver the project in its entirety, and what we need. Belfast has some great community centres right across our city, but our community don't always feel that those places represent us or that we feel at home there. And so that's why it's so important to have somewhere that is serving, that its sole responsibility is to serve our community. I have no doubt tonight is going to be really fun. I have been told that Tina and Titti are not allowed to swear, which in itself is hilarious. They've just sat in the corner going through their vocabulary of what they're not allowed to say. And so I sort of kind of hope that it falls through, and you do. But thank you very much for being here tonight. All this money that's raised tonight was going towards our LGBTQI plus hub and to serve us as a community. So thank you and enjoy. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now comes the fun part for me. So anybody that knows me, I'm terrible speaking public. So hello everyone and welcome to this very special live edition of G&T Sips and Giggles. We are absolutely thrilled to be here tonight celebrating National Coming Out Day 2024 in partnership with the LGBTQIA Heritage Project. It's fantastic to see so many fabulous faces in the audience. So if anybody doesn't know me, I'm Glenn. I put the G in G&T. And tonight we are super excited to welcome a very special co-host to the pod. Not just because he's a Patreon supporter, thanks Jude, but because he's simply marvellous. Yes, Jude Copeland will be up front and in the driving seat tonight. This episode is not just a celebration, we're also creating a record in the queer history books. Tonight we plan to highlight the stories, struggles, triumphs of 2 of Belfast's drag titans who have undoubtedly helped shape our vibrant community. Everybody's already thanked our sponsors, but I'll do it again. We want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our generous sponsors, SSE Electricity, Baker McKenzie, and Invest NI. And to our amazing partners working with Pride, the Rainbow Project, and Here NI. Thank you for help making this event possible. Your support truly means the world to us. Now, our fabulous audience, you guys, we want you to be part of the conversation tonight. So if you've got questions, please do not hesitate to ask them. Just scan either of the QR codes that will be up on the screen. One will take you to a web form where you can submit your questions. You can do it with your name or you can do it anonymously. And let's be honest, both of these queens can sometimes bite, so it's probably best that you do it anonymously. The other code will connect directly to the G&T podcast WhatsApp. So if you prefer a more direct line to us, we're here to keep it fun and interactive, so don't be shy. Here's your QR codes if anybody wants to submit a question. Fill your boots. So, Belfast, grab your drinks, settle in, and let's get ready for an evening filled with laughter, stories, and a joyful celebration of our queer heritage. Please help me and welcome to the stage our fabulous co-hosts with the most, Jude Copeland. This queen puts the T in G&T and is my podcast co-host and my work wife, the stunning Tina Legs Tantrum. And for the very first time on the pod, our very special guest, she's tantalizing, titillating, it's Titti von Tramp. Please make some noise for your guests.
One, two. One, two. One.
Hello.
It's all mine to the dawn. Hello.
1, 2.
What? Testicles, testicles. That's not a swear word, is it?
I really am digging the echo.
Is there any point in me being here?
No.
I
No,
feel I feel
no.
a wee bit. I feel a wee bit like Mo Molam in the 1990s, trying to
She's sitting beside.
circle a square and bring people together, and it's very very
And then
difficult.
dying. So she did. She's dead. She's
Your
gone.
back is
She done a good job. She was brilliant.
Your jokes aren't that bad.
Yeah, they are. They're
Like
going
you're
to
not
get a
going to
whole
die.
lot
It's
worse.
fine.
There better be pink gin.
Here comes the hostess trolley. Tea, coffee, me over the trolley.
Right? Can I have a tiny bit of hush whenever I explain why we're here? I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race a couple of years ago. Hello.
Sorry, it was her.
Yeah.
Totes out, dude.
Such
Well, at least-
Molam
And
energy.
you're the fiend.
So I was watching all of the RuPaul's Drag Race UK, and I thought none of them could deal with a bomb scare, and none of them will have been stopped by the army on their way to a gig. And yeah, I just want to hear all of these stories from you about the olden times, like Downton Abbey because we're obviously thinking about the future and upstairs, like not God, but like the LGBTQIA hub. So we brought like these really well preserved relics, like the British Museum. I
Making your knickers again.
What? Say that again. Say that again. Reserved relics.
preserved.
Preserved. We're preserved.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, it's better than being called a Protestant.
Here,
I thought that's where he was going with this. Just because I blessed myself 2 minutes ago.
yes, you came all the way down on the glider, all the way from the falls.
Is that from Lure?
So
That's the noise they usually make.
Papa. Papa.
Any chance of a question?
okay, so
Any chance of a drink? Water. Water.
do we have any
This
lesbians
actually
here?
sounds like we're in a desert.
I feel we need a lesbian to control this event. I have never been at an event and been the straightest person there. Ever.
Teddy's a lesbian.
Oh no, I'm allergic.
Yeah.
I thought that was just Botox.
I haven't got the tongue for a lesbian. Oh no.
No. Thank you. Look at Glenn. Oh,
Gemma.
Glenn, thank you.
Gemma,
Give him a
stick your
round of
tongue out.
applause.
Yay, Glenn.
Yay,
Oh
Glenn.
no.
Thank you.
So I think so far we've got absolutely no material for our podcast. So today we are sandwiched between Lesbian Day and International Coming Out Day. So can we get a big cheer for the lesbians?
Ew!
Yay!
Keep on
Yay!
And the lesbians who own dungarees?
Yes, everybody thought about that for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dungarees.
they all have
dungarees.
They all have lesbians? No.
No, well,
they all
that's
have
true.
dungarees. So
And-
I wrote...
It's National Coming Out Day.
Off
Yes.
my knickers.
Anybody coming out?
Not yet. Tucked.
Are you out?
Oh, look, open your eyes.
Yeah.
You'd have
Are-
more knob ends and weekends.
I know. Oh, God love
Aw.
it, child. How
Why,
old are
why
you?
did you sit
What
in the
age are
front
you?
row?
77.
That's
16. Oh, no, I'm 18.
aw, no.
You're obviously dyslexic. You can't count.
So I
Oh.
think to make this event very inclusive, it's a really, really nice thing for people to describe what they look like and what they're wearing. Do you want to describe each other?
Oh. How long have you got?
She already did on the way in front of everybody.
Said
And
you
it's
think
as
about
well-
spots.
I did on. You're sitting there with skin like an armadillo.
Jealous.
I didn't mean to curse. I didn't mean to curse. Sorry. I take that back. And there's people listening to this, isn't there?
Is there?
No, they're all
Is
here.
there not?
Is there not?
Oh, welcome
I mean,
to
God
the
can hear.
O2 Arena in London.
Come on, make some noise, London.
So, will I go first?
Yes, you go first.
Right, okay. I don't really, I'm not what you would call a fashion conscious queen, as you can tell.
Or
I
conscious.
am the kind of drag queen that you would call a really big Millie. I always have been because
Upper
that-
Millies.
up the millies. And I if I put something on, right, and I'm going out and it's really short and it's really tight and my arse sticks out, I'm good. Because I do have a cracking arse. And I do have spectacular legs. Everything else I don't really care for. I'm not really see this whole, I don't mean to be derogatory, but RuPaul's Drag Race. Where do you see all the baby queens at 18 and 19? Oh my God, 10 legs chance. She's bitch. She's talking about RuPaul. Couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. I describe myself
You've
as
got Michelle Visage's roots.
what?
You've got Michelle Visage's roots.
At least I have her. So
Mine's on my back.
I know, I slept with you last week. So listen, I'm joking. No, we didn't. She did.
Oh no, I don't do care in the community.
And so I go with this thing I've always done. I'm a fun loving, fearless female. And whatever I want to wear, I will wear it. I don't care if it's £1 or £100. If I feel I'm $1 million in it, good.
Yay! Love that. Right, Teddy.
But you're talking about
Describe.
me.
Well,
Someone said about me.
no, we've only just started and we want them to stay.
Yeah.
So
Look, close your legs there. The hound with the basketballs.
Teddy, would you like to describe what you're not wearing?
Breathable. Drip dry. A 15-minute cycle on the washing machine. What more do you want to know? If you've got it, flaunt it. Isn't that right, Tina?
yes.
Yes.
I think the best thing you could ever wear are two things: a smile and confidence. Doesn't matter about anything else you have on your back or your feet or your head. If you have smile and confidence, you're fine.
I thought you were going to say testicles.
No, I'm actually sitting on them right now. And do you know what? It's not that bad. Because every time I laugh and I giggle a wee bit, I go,
I have 3 Adams out. 1, 2, 3. Testicles.
This is delightful.
good.
I am entirely loving
Haven't
this.
swore.
Can we do a tiny bit of history? So,
What
what was it like coming out?
And
And
Well,
set the scene.
okay.
Were there blue buses, red buses?
No, there were no
There's
buses.
culture.
There were no buses because they kept getting burnt. Swear to my God, honest to God, up and down the Falls Road, no buses whatsoever. And that's why black taxis became so popular.
She's
Because
not
they
racist.
were off the roads. And either you got a black taxi, and when you were on the welfare, like my mommy and daddy, you walked everywhere.
Now, Tina, there's cultures in the audience, so
Sure.
you need to explain a taxi.
a black taxi. Hands up. Who's coach? Who's coach? Who's from the culture? Who's from the country?
Angela, you're not from culture.
Hold on.
She's actually
Hold
imported.
on.
She's from
No,
Senegal.
She is. Smell her.
No. Where there's
Um,
money.
So she's been rolled around many a barn. She's
Left for
practically
dead.
a dingle. Hi, Amanda. Now, I remember when I didn't have a choice about coming out. It was taken away from me. Do you remember the Parliament Bar?
Yes.
And they had the first ever Mr. Gay UK competition. So we went down and I was in the audience. I worked in the Royal at the time as a cleaner. And someone took photographs and sent them to the Sunday World.
No.
Were they good photos?
No.
Oh.
Are they ever?
I'm going to be brutally honest. I was completely off my face and I was just... And
Enjoying the
then,
moment.
but it was a big photograph and everybody thought I was Mr. Gay UK. So they were all going, Mr. Gay UK. I was like, it's true.
So what year was this? I don't want to be personal. but I know.
1941.
Were there German bombs going off?
Well, yeah. No, this was when it was dangerous to go into the town. Really dangerous. You took your life in your hands if you were a Catholic or Protestant. It depended where you were going. And there was no drag then, none whatsoever. It was just too dangerous.
Tell us a wee bit about the Ring of Steel, because we do heritage tours and people really don't understand what that was.
Well, basically, the Ring of Steel was you stayed in your own areas. You didn't leave where you were from because of your religion. And if you did, and you were shot dead or you were kidnapped, you got your throat cut, it's your own fault. You shouldn't have broke that Ring of Steel because that was your protection back then. That one, it was really, really horrible, really frightening. But you know what I done? Wait to hear this. So I don't know if there's anybody. Do you remember a club, Titti, down in the docks called the Carpenters?
Yes. I used to go out with the owner.
Right. When I was 18,
I think this will be a consistent theme.
when I went down to the Carpenters all by myself, and I walked it into the town, taking my life in my hands because I needed to find this first ever gay club, and I didn't know where it was. Found it.
What did you follow?
The smell.
Oh.
Poppers.
I actually saw these two very camp men, and I thought, I follow them, and so I did, and I went in, and I went upstairs, and I don't believe I'm going to say this. My father was very strict and old-fashioned. If you were cheeky, you got your jaw broke. So I didn't want to drink. I was afraid of coming home and smelling of alcohol. Do you know what I brought with me? A bottle of brown lemonade. No, it wasn't. It was actually sarsaparilla.
From the main man.
From the... Yeah,
From the main man.
yes.
She got 10p back for a bottle.
The second time I went, nothing happened that night. And then I came home and then I tried it a couple of weeks later. And that was the night I got chased. And I had to run up the Shankill. I had to climb over the peace wall. And they were literally at my ankles. And I threw myself over the spikes, the barbed wire. And it was about a 20-foot drop. And thank God I was really fat. Because I had a soft landing. Swear. No, honestly, I was so fat. Every time I got on the scales, it said one at a time. I literally hit the ground, and they wanted to kill me. So they were watching for who was heading towards the Falls Road, and then there was two came that way, and I just knew, so I ran.
That's amazing. We don't, at the History Project, have any photos of the Carpenters Club. We always stop there, and the chariot rooms. Were you ever in there?
The what rooms?
The chariot rooms.
No.
I've never heard of them.
No, never heard of them.
Oh.
You sure? You're older than me.
Friggin' well 57. You're the Old Testament.
I know, but I don't look it. I'm actually
are you looking at?
57 next month.
So that means, yay! So that means that whenever you were 15, we were decriminalized.
Yep.
So what was that like?
Well, I didn't really care. I mean, it didn't mean it didn't. I just loved realizing I was a big fat homosexual because I had this real no secret to myself. I was like, oh my god, I like boys, and I used to fancy all my best mates. You know what we used to do? See, we were like 15, and we used to get a carry out in a place called the Hills. And all the wee boys is over there, and all the wee girls is over there. And every time we were drinking Old English, 3 bottles, and he used to say to me, "Here, Wolsey, come on up there, go to the toilet." And I
What
used to
for?
stand there against the wall, no talking to them when they were standing there going to the toilet. And I said, I can't believe she's doing that, Jay. It's terrible. You should drop her, so you should. Honest to God, no. Right, okay, that's terrible. Stevie, that's how it is. And I was like wanting them to just keep on going and doing almighty wee wee.
I think my brain is blanking out what you're saying. It's too traumatic.
Oh no, wait till you listen back to it. The visions in your
So
mind.
you came all the way from the Falls, but from the North Down
Country?
Riviera.
Yes, I'm from Ballywalter, which is this tiny, small village. So, for me, I had to get the bus from Ballywalter to Belfast, and then you had to go through the army checkpoints before you could even get into Belfast.
That's right.
So my bags were checked twice before I could get into the city centre. So the army guys would have opened your bags, chucked your drag stuff onto the ground,
Yeah.
spat on it, kicked it all over the place, spat on you,
Yeah.
would let you through. Then you had to go to another checkpoint. If you didn't get through that, then you had to walk another mile to get through another checkpoint. So you didn't know if you were going to get even into Belfast.
So I
for
think
me-
what I'm hearing is that you became expert at blending in.
Oh yeah, I just dress like these people here. These plain, ordinary, dull people. Yeah.
Can I
Splendid.
ask you a really personal question? I don't know why my accent went like that. A personal question.
Yes.
Do you ever find yourself um
Wanting to sleep with me?
no.
No.
It's do you ever find yourself in Marks and Spencer's thinking, here's a nice sensible cardigan I might wear?
Have you met me?
I'm
Your
just
eyes work?
exploring
What do you
the
look
different
at?
aspects of both your identities.
No.
No.
I use a cardigan for toilet roll.
That's
Hell.
the North Down way.
Yeah. Do you remember the Limelight on a Monday
Monday
night?
night. I loved it.
Oh, because back in the day, before we were accepted, there was different little places, wasn't there?
could.
And
Were
we
you just
literally-
following the same two people around, seeing where they
yeah.
went? Right.
The only reason
Do
we
this
were
in
doing it,
order.
so we could get frisked and humiliated by the army, hoping that they would touch you inappropriately, but they never did.
You can't rape the willing.
No,
Can't rape the
you
willing.
can. Well, you can. You try hard enough.
What was the Limelight like?
Fabulous. Oh, I used to go every Monday, and I used to bring a bag of drag and change 11 times, and people thought there was 11 drag queens in that building. I was like
Wow.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it was. It was good. That's the place where Tina was born because they had that fancy dress, and I dressed up as Tina too. And I was a wee bit worse for wear, and they crowned me first. And they were saying to the person in second place, "We're really sorry." And I took the microphone off him and started singing "I'm Simply the Best." And the guy who came second ran off stage crying. He was dressed like Mary Poppins, and he made the dress and all himself, and the wig and all. He looked gorgeous.
Was
I
this
stood
Tilly?
there looking like this. I was like, "I'm simply the best," and I was only after taking a knee. No, this
Simply
big wig and all. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to be a star."
Has that happened yet?
No,
No. Still waiting.
still in,
Still
wishing
waiting.
on a star.
Right,
her
so
deathbed.
tell me from back in the day, who was the first drag queen or drag performer that you ever saw on TV or in real life?
Oh, I'd say Miss May from the Crow's Nest was my first
On TV.
TV. Oh God.
The clap? I don't know what that's for.
Because for Miss May.
For Miss May?
First May.
Do you not remember Miss May?
No.
Do you not? Do you remember?
I've had a
She was
hard life.
gig. She was
That's
one
the
of the
point
first
of this podcast, to
older.
get these stories.
Do you remember she used to write her 2 jokes on the back of her hand?
And wash your hands.
And she used to be really, really full, steaming drunk, and then her weight used to slide over to one side, and then the heel of her shoe would have broke. And that's where Titti got all her makeup tips from.
Oh, really? Sitting there like a baked potato.
Yeah. The tuna and onion filling.
Too much tuna. Too much tuna.
Oh, I love
Look at the
it.
lesbians lick their lips.
Yes. Go. Who was your first person that you seen on TV and drag?
Oh. Was it Lily Savage? No. No.
Love Lily Savage.
Yeah.
That was
Damn.
one of the first drag queens I ever
Thanks,
saw.
Vivian. Damn Edna. Yeah, there she is.
Oh. She's with us
Has
tonight.
aged well. Like a bag of
Today.
shit.
I think I remember. I totally loved Paul O'Grady,
Yeah.
Lily Savage, but before that was Danny LaRue.
Oh, the glamour.
He was pure glamour, cabaret, real old shit. And he used to have that show on a Sunday night. On Mother Kelly's doorstep, you know, all that real old.
We were too poor
West
for a
End.
TV.
This is why we're here, so we can tell people, shut up. So I know and my mommy and daddy used to sit and watch it with a carry out. Swear to God. And my daddy used to drink Strongbow. My mommy used to drink 3 tins of Guinness. And then all the rats were going on out our back door. And we had this TV, and I was the remote control. TV area was a coat hanger. That's true. Honest to God. Danny LaRue and then Lily Savage. But it was Lily Savage that, because her comedy was so dry and sarcastic, and I looked and I thought, I want to do that.
Yeah, I remember as a very small kid watching Lily Savage and just thinking, how can any person be that funny? And then it was through the history and learning about during the AIDS epidemic, she was on stage in the Royal Vauxhall Tavern,
That's
and
right.
the police came in and raided it. And because HIV and AIDS wasn't understood then, they were all wearing rubber gloves. So Lily Savage said, "Looks like we've got help with the washing up."
Yeah, that's right. I just thought that was a very poignant thing to say. But it just goes to show just how cold, cruel, and callous society was. Wasn't
Back
it?
then, even for us, we didn't know where it was coming from or how it was being transmitted. So we were just in the dark as much.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who were left Northern Ireland and moved to England. It was safer, easier life for them over there than here.
Yeah. I never left. I stayed.
Did they ever try and put you out?
Have you met me? Imagine saying no to me. No, I like go to a lot of places. I work abroad quite a lot. I have been
Backgrounds.
around the world, and but there's no place like home. There's not. I just love Northern Ireland. I love Belfast, and it's the people that I love the most. Because after 32 years, I wouldn't be doing this. You know.
32. Fuck, count your toes. Just count your toes.
I can't.
32.
They're all curly and twisted.
She's a dick like a parsnip.
How long are you doing drag? Tell the truth.
37
She's lying.
years.
Because you were doing it before me.
Better.
Yeah.
Still am. Still am.
But then you just stood there and didn't do anything until
Still
I
don't.
came along. And I started performing and lip syncing and doing
Did you?
stand up. And you still just stood there and didn't do anything.
and got paid
And then
more.
all of a sudden you started going,
Upstairs is no open. And here I am.
but you know what, folks? And this is true. Titti was working in the Kremlin and
Dave, I'm here.
I was working in the Parliament.
Yes.
And what actually happened was I was barred from the Parliament for life. I walked up one night. Do you remember Big Lisa?
Australia, Lisa.
Yes.
Big
She
lesbian.
said to me,
You're not getting in.
I just looked at her and went, fine. So then we went round, we started our show, me, Portia, and Trudy. And it kept going, it kept getting better, it kept going better. And it was a blessing in disguise. For whatever reason, I was barred for life. It gave me the option to start that because all I was doing was going out and partying and wasting my time and wasting my life. Do you know? Wish I could do.
My
I've
ears are
actually
not a
cursed
toilet.
more than you.
I'm the Christian. Good girl. I'm a good girl. I am.
Like
I'm only
Sister
here for the second coming of Christ.
The third, the fourth, the fifth.
Till he's dry.
Glenn is going to cut all this.
I haven't swore.
He just
said the
knows
F
that you're
word.
thinking it.
He
Glenn is the mastermind behind all of this.
isn't he?
Yeah.
I love him.
Face for behind the scenes.
Uh-huh.
Right. First performances. What was it like getting on stage that first time? What did you sing? What did you do?
It was awful. I looked like I was terrible, but I had the best time. Do you know what we used to do? We used to get, me and Trudy, we used to put our songs on tape cassettes downstairs in the Parliament on a Saturday night, and they used to have to hold the microphone to the ghetto blaster. And she used to do that round at the Kremlin, and we all heard her.
Is she really from Ballywalter?
Pardon?
Are you really from Ballywalter?
Yes.
She's
I can
from
over and show you. I can show you where I'm from. The Ards Peninsula. South Down.
South Down.
No,
South
Down.
Where's South Down? Ballyrobert? Never in Ballyrobert.
I've done a car advertisement for them.
Yeah, I know.
Corsa walks on
I've
Corsa.
seen it. I know. Do you remember when we saw your big legs walking by, and I had a wee chihuahua at the time, and I thought it was my big fluffy slipper, and I went, and the dog died. High impact. I know I was raging because she got a TV advert.
I got two. For everyone. For everyone. My lovely lady voice. For everyone.
No, but the performances back then were so raw and very naive, and it was very. Do you remember?
Oh, no.
Anybody from Generation X will remember when you used to record the charts on a Sunday night
With your cassette recorder.
Atlantic
on your cassette
252.
recorder, and you used to have to pause when the DJ was talking. Do you remember? So you had this run of all the popular songs. That's what we did as kids in the 70s and the 80s.
1870s, 1880s.
And another thing, we
You
were
can push
talking
her
about
over,
this
Tina.
earlier on. Even though I was Parliament and she was Kremlin, there was this thing in the old gay scene that us two hated one another.
And how right they
It's
were.
true.
Can't stand them. You were saying something?
Yeah. And then, and during my very
Maybe-
successful performing career, where I didn't stand at the door with all my bits hanging out, there was one Saturday afternoon I was doing a karaoke show and I was really bored because the audience just were not playing with me. So a bin lorry was driving past and it stopped. And I grabbed the microphone and I jumped on the back of a bin lorry and it drove off with me on the back of it. And I was like, "Citizens, to wake up." I'm away. And then there was another time about 6 months later, I had a scooter. I had a wee scooter and it was a gold one and put meatloaf on. Thought, right, I need to jizz this up. And I went out and got on my scooter and went right through the doors, right into the bar, smashed the whole front of my scooter. But I got a round of applause.
Joyrider.
Yeah. Up a hoots.
Yo! Up a shitter. That's not a swear word. I can say shit, can't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shit, 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 shit. We love you.
I think
I
I have a very dangerous question to ask. Are there any, well, for both of you, are there any really memorable comments or heckles that you really love? that we can broadcast or cut.
We're doing
Whatever.
this. This guy said you suck, and I said, yeah, ask your dad. And I had. Twice that week. And his dad had taken pictures on his phone.
Our job does have some advantages.
Oh.
Yeah, it really does. It does.
This is your life.
Tell us about a really funny time you had a brilliant comic for people. So there's loads of reverb. I can hear about 7 of myself. So that's why I'm speaking like some sort of weird
Priest.
shalom.
Oh.
Yes.
Racist. Racist. Racist.
So, Tim,
What
you
was the
want me
question?
to? It was about me coming.
Oh, God, help us.
Your comeback.
It's like overnight oats.
Oh, my combat. As a performer, I'm doing a lot of ad lib. I'm just quite sort of very organic, and I don't encourage any kind of sort of nastiness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if some, yeah,
Who are you talking about?
you,
Alright.
and when people try to throw a one line at you, we were just talking about this earlier on when we were in the toilet there. So we were, and
Blowing balloons.
yes, we're cleaning our noses. Yeah, you just kind of, I don't really remember as such, but if someone in the audience was to say something to me or Teddy right now, we could clap back. Go.
No pressure, bitches.
That'll be
Yeah.
Angela. She was pleasant to me earlier, and I swear
Oh,
I felt
there's
like
a
I was
hobbit.
dying.
A hobbit's talking.
Like she's never pleasant to me, and
Excuse
I
me.
thought there
You're going
was
to shave
something
your
wrong.
feet?
Yes, she's a really small person.
Shave your feet.
Did you say shave your feet?
Yes, it's a hobbit talking.
Oh,
Lord
I
of the
thought
Rings.
because she had a hairy
It's Gollum. Hello, Gollum. You were saying?
I can't remember. Early politicians
Oh,
who were
Christ.
supporters. So I shock a lot of people by saying that the first person in the whole of the UK and Ireland to suggest decriminalising homosexuality was, drumroll, the UUP MP for North Belfast, Harvard Montgomery Hyde, and kind of like Titti.
Why? Because she slapping them.
Probably. But I mean, he slept with a lot of women, but he was very definitely straight. But this was in the 1950s. So I kind of want to know what the political representation. Did you ever see anybody fighting for your rights thinking, actually, that's a really, really sound person?
No.
Next question.
No. What I did see was the
Glory
first
hole.
people who ever supported our community were the trade unions. The trade unions who were going out on strike, who were not getting any pay, who had very, very poor conditions at home, starving children with no food coming in, and they were working 7 days a week. So when we first started this whole Pride movement in the United Kingdom, it was the trade unions who supported the coal miners. Remember the coal miner strikes in the 1980s? They joined in with the gays, and then they became a force. So when I look at politicians, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings,
Sign language.
For the
We're not
purposes of the
talking.
podcast, Tina did a little wave.
I appreciate those who walk in pride and support us now. and embrace-
Maggie! Maggie! Maggie!
But you know what? And I will say this with an open heart. I appreciate the support, the love, and what we've got right now. However, why do we have to go through so much first to get to where we are now when heterosexual people didn't? That's we went through hell. We were disgraced, we were spat on, we were humiliated, we were just made to feel so filthy and dirty. And all we were doing was trying to live.
Breathing. Just breathing.
So before we could get to any kind of place where we felt human, then all of a sudden, when the coal miners came with the gays, let's walk in the parade. Thank you very much. Only about 30 years too late, but I'll take it.
Wow.
Tina for president. Vote
Tina Kamala Harris legs tantrum.
Obama.
Breaking news.
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Smile.
I mean, I find that really, really traumatic because the way decriminalisation happened much later here than in England and Wales.
Yeah.
And
Everything.
lots of people have left here. And you can even see it, people coming home on social media at Christmas time. They're still in exile. And I really love you, Tina, slightly more than Titti.
Enjoy using your knees while
Anyway,
you can.
no, I've got a human buffer. And she's from West Belfast, so it's fine. The way you create an inclusive space, and I know you will hate that phrase, but I have seen everybody treated with respect in your venue.
Yeah.
And I think, and we talked about this in our frankly quite concerning group chat where Tina woke us with like motivational meme every morning, and there were lots of flashbacks, and it was really fairly traumatic in a good way. But whenever you left Union Street, like the last time you left,
Last year.
you're like, Cher.
I'm like the boomerang. I keep coming back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Teddy's had like
You left.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I left.
Yeah, she went to prison.
And-
Ladies.
and came back with a
Ladies.
beard.
Ladies.
She was banged up abroad.
Abroad.
What happened? Do you mind me asking? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. What happened? Do you remember me and you sat in Castle Court and you were about to take off? You were going
11
somewhere.
years ago.
Yeah, 11 years.
I just left.
Why?
Had enough.
Oh.
Gone. So I'm tired.
Glenn, get all this.
What was it that made you go, right, I've had enough, I need to leave, and I'm going?
Mental health. I just wasn't a good place and said, right, enough. I need to do this. I need to get away to find out who I am and not worry about what people who think I am. I struggled with bulimia for 19 years because I had to keep skinny. And that was because for other people, wasn't for me. So I just said enough. My head wasn't a good place, so away I went. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Because people think it's very glamorous, but there's a lot goes on. You've got this perception, and you've got to be skinny, and to do that, I was making myself sick 2-3 times a day, purging whenever I could. Now, I still would, but not to the extent I did. I think the last time I purged would have been April, and prior to that would have been about 2 years ago. So it's still there, and because you've expectation of what you look like, and you've got to keep looking like that. I've joined Seven World. I lost 5.5 stone.
Where?
Hateful. Who knew dogs could talk? Why are you not on Britain's Got Talent? Because Simon Cowell will put you straight through.
Teddy, do that noise again because you kind of sound like the Harland and Wolff horn.
Oh, that one. Oh, run for your lives! It's Godzilla.
That's probably generational trauma. You know, the Titanic. And
Tramadol.
really, really awful stuff.
But brush it and sniff it.
I don't want to pass over that because actually that was my point. The two of you create spaces which are safe for people. And whenever you were leaving last year, I think one of the really, really big things for me was that I felt that I had to get up on stage to thank you. And I've told you this because I was on a night out. I didn't really want to because I don't massively like this. But the reason I did it was because I help with a community group and there were members of that group who are not out and they were watching you from the room outside because they were too scared to be in photos. They were too scared to be with anybody that they could be identified. And these are amazing people in their sort of 40s and I know them as amazing people.
Yeah.
Their family do not know how amazing they are.
You
So
see,
you create
yeah.
these amazing spaces. How do you do it?
Well, it's basically based on cheap makeup, confidence, and struggled a bit with my weight, ladies and gentlemen. I did have bulimia, but I forgot to be sick. Um, but you don't go out to create a safe place. It's created because it's meant to happen. And when a lot of people get together and you have two gorgeous queens and they're having a laugh, like I said, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you have a smile and you're confident, it's so drawing in, and people are like, they want your photograph, they want to be your friend. I like it when they tell you stuff they're not supposed to.
I know.
Don't they?
Like what?
And then you
It's-
tell the bar. Our secret.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or they'll come up to you and they'll go to you, oh, Mummy Tina, see if I tell you, will you not say nothing? No. What's your name? Mary. And then they tell you, and then it sticks in the back of your mind. In the minute you get up on the stage, microphone. Here, do you know we Mary over there? And the blood drains out of them. But that's what creates a safe place. It's just fun. It's just banter, bit of crack. And I think we've been doing it for so long. We're just really used to it. And the beauty of what you and I have done and created, we go anywhere.
Oh, anywhere.
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 Couldn't give a toss.
Nope.
Whereas
Cross
before,
the barricades.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think because we were held back and we went through that stuff, we were still determined to put up with that.
I think because we went through so much shit as
Yeah.
well. We've done all that.
Yeah.
We can hold our own. I can go
Yeah.
anywhere. I can work anywhere.
I remember when I was about 7 or 8 going to St. Paul's Primary School, and when we got to the bottom of Oakman Street, there would have been about 8 or 9 of us, and Mrs. McKernan used to shout down to us, now remember, see if there's a sniper and he opens up, just hit the deck. And that was normal going to school. No the only thing I could think about, I had a duffel coat, right? Mummy bought it at a charity shop.
She's still wearing it.
£2, still wearing it. And I had, do you remember them big old fashioned wooden buttons and you had to twist them and all?
Still wearing it.
So the first sniper attack was the first day I got the duffel coat and I lost the button. I got a slap in the jaw. I near got shot dead, but I lost the button on my duffel coat. My mummy broke my jaw. 2 weeks later, we were all going to school. And this was like a normal occurrence in the late 70s and the
Did you find the button?
1980s. We were walking and then the next thing you hear, and there's 8 of us and we hit the deck. And the thing we knew to do was you never closed your eyes. You just lay there, silent. And for a split second, you wouldn't hear a word. And the reason why we didn't close our eyes was it meant that we weren't hit and we weren't dead. So then, all of a sudden, you'd hear all the mummies coming beating down the street. No, never again! Jesus Christ, is there something wrong with you? And the army would be shooting and the paramilitaries would be shooting. And then it would stop because the mummies were coming down the street. And then you used to bring you. And I remember I had all grit and dirt and all stuck to my face. And all I could think was, oh my God, I've lost another button. And going into school and I couldn't concentrate all day. But my mother had come up to the school to see if it was okay. And I seen her coming past the classroom and I was sliding under the desk. Do you know who I looked like when I was a wee girl? Do you remember the film The Goonies?
Lassie.
It's true. Do you remember the film The Goonies? Remember? Hey, you guys. Do you remember Chunk? That was me. I was the fattest, happiest kid you've ever seen in your entire life. Honest to God, dodge bullets and everything. Boom, boom. Pure ricochet.
And do you see coming through that? I was thinking of the Women's Coalition documentary, and it applies to the two of you.
Just check
In a weird
something
way.
here.
Yes.
No.
No, but it's not that all of a sudden you became strong.
No.
It's that you were made strong
Yeah.
by the war times.
Yeah. We kind of just sort of thought, right, we knew, didn't we? If we were going to do this, we were going to have to put up with some crap.
Big time.
Even before we got to venues, even before we got on public transport with what we had, that we wanted to have a dress, a couple of dresses, a wig, a bit of makeup, just so we could be our natural selves. And it just made us much stronger. Didn't it?
Big time.
Look at you, me.
Look at me now.
Look at you now. It's 67.
Almost afford a full outfit.
Hold my hair. I'm going to trail her. Talking pig.
And what was it like being on the stage at times? Lots of people will have seen the blood on the dance floor, Darren Bradshaw's murder.
Yeah.
But I think for me, for the Heritage Project, is the actual route of Belfast Pride takes us past a number of places where gay men have been murdered.
Yeah.
So Warren Macaulay, Reverend Templeton, what kind of, and Sammy and Anthony McLeave.
Yeah.
And lots of people don't know those names, but to those families and to geeky historians like me, that's part of our heritage. And that's kind of why we want all of your knowledge and
It's still
wisdom.
not safe. There's places in Belfast you can't walk. If you leave the Kremlin on a night, you're still not safe. There's still beatings going on. People are still getting beat up. So it's still not safe.
Well, the only fights I've ever been in is when people are coming for me. And I'm not a fighter, but I can fight. And I would never back down from I fear no one.
Is this a TV license, man?
Yeah. There was one night I was coming out of the Kremlin and there was two taxi men and one of them started laughing at me because I was really fat. I didn't mind. That was a bit of banter. But then the other one started getting really filthy and derogatory. And then the two of them got out of their taxis and started being, it became sectarian. So as they both got back into their taxis, I just went mental. And then I dove through the taxi window at one of them, got him by the throat and tried to lift him clean out. So the other one was going to phone the boys. Like, we're going to get you done now. We're going to get you shot. And I was like, 97 Deer Park Road. I'll be waiting on you. It's that kind of stuff when you think, why would I put up with this now? It's still not safe. And it's sad to say this. I don't think it's ever going to really be safe. But then society today, it's so unbalanced. There's so much going on in the world that you think, do you know what? The last 20 odd years of the peace process, thank God, because it's a lot better because what we went through.
Oh yeah, so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will take that
Fuck
any
it.
day. And not for us. If we weren't still going, how many other young boys and young girls who want to experience this? What would it have done to them if they had have felt that humiliation, those spittles in their face, those name calling, taxi men wanting to have a fight with you, or simply being threatened
Oh yeah.
because you want to look amazing?
She still does.
Yeah. I still try to look amazing.
Oh, you do. Both of you.
The thing I love-
Really.
the thing I loved about Titti the most, right?
Here
I
she
was
goes.
this chubby, chunky, performing, disco dancing, bouncy, Millie drag queen, and I'm always going to be. No point in turning back now. But I always used to look at her and think her sexiness and her confidence. She was always demure, but she was. Titti to me, I look back then and I think now, she will always be the Belfast legend and an icon because I have the biggest respect for her.
Bang.
I do.
Don't let me stop you. Don't let me carry on. Carry on.
Now, you tried something, anything nice about me. Go.
All your tattoos are spelled properly.
She's a lovely personality.
But I think that's really incredible. And, unless you sort of forget how important you become to a community.
Yeah.
I was giving a bit of a talk at the front gates of City Hall, like Mickey's place.
Mickey's.
And it was a couple of years ago, and it was on the anniversary of decriminalisation. And I just said a few words, and people were crying, and people were running for the hills, and all of that stuff, and probably recording it to put themselves to sleep. But I'll never forget one of the queer asylum seekers that I know. he just grabbed my arm and said, "I've never seen anybody talk like that." And it made me realize that where he came from, he had never ever seen that. And in rural parts of here, it's still like that. I really, really love how you take your. I mean, we did reschedule this from tomorrow just so that you could go all the way to the deprived areas of Bangor. Um,
She's hit the
Judging
big
me?
time.
but I
She's gonna be
really,
on the
really love
boats.
how you do bring your drag to unusual places because they actually kind of need it more than Belfast.
Oh, they love it. And they pay more.
Oh,
Yeah,
Free
that
bar, cash, free taxi, new deck. What more do you want? Woohoo! I can say deck canter. Deck, 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 deck.
yeah. Is
There's that girl over there in the pink top.
yes.
Keeps on pissing herself. You turn
You.
around.
yeah, what's that you're drinking?
Nothing.
I knew it.
It's Ribena.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna start bouncing around the place in a minute. Go.
So I've been given hand gestures by Glenn that I think we've overrun.
Yeah, that's time.
We're doing.
That's time.
Is that it? What was the question?
I
Words
can't.
of future.
Future, a pulse. Hopefully, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to keep on doing it. I am really enjoying myself at the moment. I'm in a really good place. I've got really good friends. Some of you
One.
couldn't be here.
Oh.
Stuff this rabble here. Yeah, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Well, in 5 years' time, I see myself as older.
Dead.
I probably might move to Gran Canaria.
Oh.
We'll do a collection. We'll do
Yeah.
a collection.
Go fund me.
Sooner rather than later.
We'll do a GoFundMe.
Bring your caravan to Gran Canaria.
But at the minute, I've never been happier in my drag. Do you know why? Because of lockdown.
Oh. Will you
It
look
gave
in?
me the opportunity to just think and recharge the buttons. And do you know my most important word was no.
Oh, yeah, it's a great word. Tina, did you
Wasn't
not
it?
use the time to look at makeup tutorials?
No.
No, obviously not.
We No, I was too busy copying you. Yeah.
My arse.
So we've got
This
some
is your arse.
lovely questions.
Sisters.
There's a bit of a time delay to Ballywalter. So, Titti, whatever I think of you, I'm reminded of your incredible warmth and charisma as a host in bars. I'd love to know, do you perform on stage?
Oh, yeah,
No,
yes,
she's
I
shite.
do. Do you? Once a year. For children in need. Dress as Pudsey. Go around with a bucket. I do the odd show. I used to work with Tommy Pad. That's that wee Ben man. See the wee Ben man over there? We used to do drag together.
Oh, Tina, in a previous episode of G&T Sips and Giggles, you've already explained your drag name.
Yeah.
Where did the Tramp
Right?
part of this?
I
And
lived
when
in
did you become a
Look at her.
I was being polite, and also people will be listening to this podcast and not realize.
I moved to England. I was working for a nightclub called Miss Mike Penny's. They were looking for a drag queen. My drag queen name was Roberta. They didn't like that.
I
Strange,
wonder
you know.
why.
Tina. So we just picked a title. Well, my real title was Baroness Titti Von Tramp. So, yeah, my real title. Yeah, so I'm a Baroness.
If you couldn't be a drag queen, what would you do to both of you?
Are you
would
going to start drag?
I'd be a provie. Look at.
Rather than do their days.
Have you ever seen me during the day? Honest to God, I'm like a paramilitary gone wrong. Swear to God. Honest, yeah. No, if I wasn't a drag queen, I would be. I've never thought about that before.
I'd work with animals. Oh, I do.
Oh. I'm
Welcome
not
to the
sure.
zoo.
There's a guy, Lee
Bone?
Boneley? Lee Boneley? Lee Boneley? I don't know. Tina, where is your favorite place to go? He sounds a bit like a stalker. Or they, not presuming.
Favorite place? Chapel.
Oh.
I go to chapel about 4 or 5
Sister
times
Act
a week.
is my favorite musical.
It's just a lovely every morning, 7:45, go to chapel,
Which
go to the
one?
gym. Holy Cross.
Holy
Do you know what the Protestants tried to kill them school kids about 20 years ago? Throwing
me.
petrol bombs and all that because
Wasn't
they were on
me.
their way up to school.
Wasn't
We
me.
Bridget and Anne and we Bernadette and we Siobhan and all. It was awful. But the beauty about it was I hadn't bought my house yet. And when that happened and then the houses all dropped, I bought one. I was like, throw more. Throw more. We're going to call it off. No, keep going. I need this to be 70 grand or less. Send me Bridget up. Put her communion dress on. Put her communion dress on. Go on, Bridget, you little shite. Go on. Get up on road.
How far can you throw?
Oh, give me something.
Oh, that reminds me of one of my favorite. I think you did it, Titti.
Oh, me? Oh, me?
Oh, shake and throw.
Yeah. No, it was that like handbag throwing game,
Oh, yes.
and it ended up like hitting people in the bar and people up the face, and like there were straight people crying. It was
They
brilliant.
looked better for it. They looked better for it.
Well, talking of looks, somebody has asked. I think they're coming out as a drag performer.
Oh.
What is the best makeup brand to use for starting?
No
drag?
point asking her.
Don't ask me.
No.
What would I know?
Doritos.
As the professional.
Well, I used to work for MAC, so I say MAC Cosmetics. Or who do you work for, Vivian? Maybelline? Well, maybe not Maybelline. Maybe not,
Do they still
Maybe
do
not.
Dream Mousse?
Yeah.
I remember people caked in Dream Mousse. Is
The-
that a thing?
Do you still say
Do you have any
it?
with you?
Is it for your face, your body? What is it?
It's
A body bag?
foundation.
Oh, is it a foundation?
Yeah.
It comes in a mousse. What's it taste like?
Like 'em?
I probably would have had it.
There's a scandalous question here.
We're
Dun, dun, dun.
She's moving that screen. What are you doing, Glenn?
now gonna go. We're now gonna join OnlyFans.
Release the beast.
Right, put him in the middle. You take a front.
Oh, God.
Ah.
I'll take the wallet.
Of all the trauma in my life. While it's while it's brought drag to the mainstream, do you think RuPaul has created a lesser generation of queens?
Personally speaking, I think it's gone on too long. It's the same stuff over and over and
What do you
over
think of
and
lip
over
syncing?
again. I think it's marvelous what he has done, but I look at it and I think, when's it stop?
I think for young queens as well, they expect
Yeah,
to spend thousands of pounds on outfits
yeah.
just to go out.
And obviously you don't need to. You just grab a couple
You're
of tea
pointing at
towels,
me?
pair of scissors, snip, 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 put your granny's knickers on, let your hoop hang out, off you go. You know what I mean?
If it works, it works.
She has a uterus on her like a hula hoop. She has kids every 4 months.
I didn't hear that because the echo.
Good.
What'd you say?
What's your favorite Pride moment
Oh, God.
ever?
Ever?
Ever.
Out of all of them?
I'm becoming you.
The equality one, when we were fighting for equality,
Yeah.
and I wore the equality wedding dress and then stripped off into a t-shirt that says DUP, what about me? I think that'll be it.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked that because just this year I received an award as
Oh, did you?
I did After
What was
32
it for?
years.
Crufts. It was Crufts. Crufts. Best in show. There she is.
Roll over. Roll over. Here, fetch a bone. Go.
It was the agility.
Come along, Tina.
Fetch.
I have to say, this year I received, oh my God, and I was stunned. I didn't know it was the Lifetime Achievement Award.
That means you're old.
Yeah.
Shut open your eyes.
I know.
What are you looking at?
Did you say eyes?
Eyes.
Eyes? Open your eyes.
Hey.
Sharn.
Yeah.
Carn.
I think that was a
Darn.
very, it was a lovely moment because I wasn't expecting it. Lifetime Achievement Award. And I thought, yeah, I'll stay.
Oh, I love
Shit.
that.
I'll
And
stay.
the award is really, really special award because it's a P.A. McLaughlin
The
award.
P.A. McLaughlin Award.
And
yeah.
he was one of the key people who created Belfast Pride.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I love that you got it. And I was watching from behind the door because I knew you were getting it.
What have you won?
Darts. I'm great at Monopoly. I swallow and won't get pregnant. That's a win-win.
Who would you...
Shag?
Shag,
I mean-
marry, or
Here's a good question for us.
Aye.
Sorry, I got really excited. I'm so glad I remembered. Why are you, like me, single?
I've no idea. I've been single 14 years. I'm a lovely person. I'm not a psychopath. Like him with the glasses there. Like Vincent Armstrong.
Oh, Vinnie Armstrong?
Oh, shit. Oh,
Oh.
God, not like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I've been single 14 years.
Oh, yeah.
How long are you single?
24?
I can see why.
Yeah. Relationships. The last one lasted 8 years. And I remember the day we broke up and he looked at me as he was leaving and he said, "Is there nothing you want to say?" And I just looked at him and said, "Yeah, crash and burn." He couldn't. I'm not going to go into the details. And that was the first
Tell
time I
us.
ever had a threesome.
What?
It was the first time ever I had a threesome.
I was going
such
to
a good
ask about
boyfriend.
a breakup
Are we still-
haircut or an outfit.
We still are we podcasting? still?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I had a threesome. My first one ever.
Really?
And do you know what I done? I lived in Crumlin at the time, and I was doing a show in the Parliament. I brought the two fellas up and drove them home, and they were really drunk. That's how we ended up having a threesome. And this, like, they were like, after it was over, it was like, right, you just have to go. And there's like, is there a taxi depot near here? This is like 4:00 in the morning in Crumlin. And I was like, yeah. See if you go down the left, then turn left, and then take a right. It's just pure fields. So I sent them on their merry way. And God knows where they went. God, I hope they made it home.
Still
I
walking.
really did.
Still walking.
I got up the next day. I was skipping. I was so happy. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm never going to have another relationship ever again. Couldn't be annoyed. Like for those of you who are all loved up and you're all getting on really,
I
really
can
well.
see them.
Good luck. Do you want a boyfriend?
No, I'm too busy having other people's.
Oh,
As the old saying goes, if it wasn't for married men, I'd be a virgin.
and the
The
old
Bible
lesbian.
somewhere. Leviticus, the lesbian section.
Do you have a
Leviticus.
boyfriend?
No.
Do you want a boyfriend?
I mean,
Roll up, roll up.
my love life is like the middle aisle of little. I don't know what's there.
Diddle in the middle.
Clearance.
Just go round. You just go round. Reduce the clear.
Faulty.
Yeah, what
Out of date.
kind?
A new kid is born.
Got the
Knock
evil
your
side.
pan in.
The priest.
I haven't heard that in ages. I knock your pan in. So what kind of man do you go for? Shut up. Go. He's being really sincere. He's just opening up his heart to us. This is not the right time today.
Okay.
It's like
Big cock or small cock?
Yes!
That's it.
Oh,
Small,
yeah, one of
medium,
those.
large.
one of those. Do you like tall man, short man,
Big dick man.
thick man? Do you like him, the photographer? He's lovely.
He's right.
isn't he? He's
You
gorgeous.
single?
Are you?
I was just about to say that. There we go for herself.
Are you single? You have a girl.
Oh, she
you're-
can join.
That's
Lucky
why you're
bitch.
sitting there smiling like a Cheshire cat. My God, if I was on that every night, I'd be smiling just like you.
How long are you married?
Oh, she's sitting there like a dog with two dicks.
10 years. 10 inches? His dick's 10 inches? What? Is it? What?
Fuck me, I'll sponsor you.
Grace. My God. I'm not
Right,
kidding.
Glenn, we want him as a guest on Sips and Giggles podcast. Gary, you're going to have to go down to a caravan that night. So you are all the way down to Port Rush, clean the windies. That's Glenn's husband.
Is it?
Oh.
Yes, Gladys.
That's what it is.
Oh.
Didn't recognise you without your clothes on.
So
I'm facing this way.
I think everybody's really excited and wants to drink after this.
Oh, fuck.
Whatever this was. Leave us with one word of wisdom for people coming out, people who want to get more involved in activism, people who want to try drag for the first time.
Say 2
The
words.
future.
Yeah, that's it.
Do it.
Just do it. Just don't listen. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter.
More than one word.
You don't have
More
to be
than one word.
contoured. Doesn't need to be
Oh.
expensive. Just do it.
Here, what we do.
Look at us.
I think Teddy should do her big. Yes, and then you can say just do it.
What we do?
Hokta. No,
I was thinking of the fog horn.
he wants you.
but
He wants you to
that's
do
fine.
your. You know when you're doing it in the club and you go.
Just do it.
Upstairs! It's night! Dainty, demure.
Honest to God.
So
Look at
thank
that
you.
poor child running out of here. Scared a bit out of her. Sorry about that, love.
Sorry.
Social services will be down in a minute.
I think you broke her glasses.
Yeah, you did. Shattered.
Yeah.
Looks
So
better.
thank you so much.
Thank
We've
you.
run a long time,
Really quick.
and Glenn needs to go, and I need to get a drink. And I just want to thank you all for coming and valuing our history, but also our present.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, Miss Legs. That was your very first live podcast. How did you find that as an experience?
Wow. That was amazing. Oh my days. That's so different. See, with a live audience and the feedback, and you can see people's expressions, you can hear them breathing, you can smell their perfume. And yeah, it was lovely. Really, really lovely. It's great to bring others onto our podcast. It's
Absolutely.
so good to have guests and a different perspective, and a different voice, different laughs, and different. I love it. Different stories. What
Yes.
did you think of it, my love?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good.
It was good to hear different stories, especially, and sort of to be part of the audience as well,
Yeah.
even though I was having a mini meltdown about audio.
Oh, God,
but we'll not talk about that. But it was fun, and I look forward to the next one. If there is a next
Yes.
one, I think that this idea of walking down memory lane, I've mentioned to you before, I absolutely love when we do that. And it's great to hear what Titti had to say as well. And
Absolutely.
indeed, to have Jude, sort of talking particularly around some of the poignant subjects that he was quite passionate about. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one, hopefully.
I hope there is a next one.
So you can actually view the entirety of the podcast on our YouTube channel and also on Patreon.
Wow.
So if you do want to support the pod, head on over to Patreon. We've got paid membership tiers in there, starting at £3, £4 and £5. Your contribution helps keep the conversation between Tina and I flowing, and anybody that has signed up, thank you so much.
Thank you.
From the bottom of our gay hearts, thank you for
Yes.
supporting the pod. And this episode does go out to our Patreon. Jude did sign up and supported us on Patreon, so thank you so much, Jude. And we look forward to producing more content for you soon. So anyway, Miss
Lovely.
Legs, until next time.
Yes, Glenn Marshall Adams. Chin
Chin.